So this week we have Foresight to Train with Slayer wildcards and drop cleaners for fletching and crafting. So the idea behind the Slayer wildcard is that what happens with that is that you get these Slayer wildcards and then you go out and you kill something, say an Abyssal Demon. And even if you don't have an Abyssal Demon Slayer task, it will give you XP as if you were on that Slayer task. So that's one thing that can come out of this promotion. But there is also the drop cleaners for fletching and crafting that are powered by a new item called Artisanal Gears. And what happens with these is that whenever you're training a skill, like fletching or crafting, you will have the option of having anything you create automatically converted to invention materials and disassembled or high alchemized for it. And I think the interesting part about this is that there's a discussion about, can there be a commitment at some point to have these added to the invention system? Because I think there's precedent for that in the past, like the skilling outfits, like the spring cleaner, like the magic note paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that hasn't been made clear at the beginning of this promotion, which I guess makes sense because they want to, juice the money out of this promotion. But I think after this promotion has shut down, we need an answer from somewhere in the company about whether or not these things are eventually going to be able to be made with Invention. Because, there was a huge controversy on the site that shall not be named this week about this, in particular adding new powerful treasure hunter items on Mental Health Awareness Week. And that's fine. People can have that discussion if they want, but we need to underscore that in the past, Jagex has talked about their duty of care and that they are cognizant of the fact that there are people out there who have had gambling problems, and if that comes into being a question with Treasure Hunter, there are ways to limit your account in that way, and there are people you can reach out to with it being Mental Health Awareness Week. But with that, I think I come to you on this, Tanis, because you had a really interesting point about this, about where this would lie for you and how it would help you.
Yeah, so I mean, I would be very in favor of having a way in game to produce the item, mainly because for me it's quality of life, but it's quality of life because of accessibility. I am always worried about missing things, missing drops, missing stuff on the floor, and so I have all of the things that you can possibly get that will help clean things up and make it so that you don't miss something important. I keep with me, and so don't know how I feel about that being behind a paywall.
Well, to be fair, this
a
just
path forward.
Anything that goes into your inventory, it destroys into invention mats or coins. So it wouldn't be cleaning up off the ground; it would just be cleaning your inventory.
Okay, so but the only items that you can't do that with automatically already are the fletching and crafting.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a difference.
No, it's not. And
in your inventory.
And that's why I think it's so important to have that discussion on this, because it went that way with Spring Cleaner, it went that way with Note Paper, and eventually went that way with all the Elite Skilling outfits. I think it would make sense to do that. And, I feel like, bashing Jagex for rolling this out this week on Mental Health Awareness Week is the cheap shot to take, when in reality, you just highlighted something that's entirely different, the accessibility angle and the past history of other items being brought into the game after a while through Invention, and that's a discussion that needs to happen, I think, on that. Dax, you have anything on this?
I mean, not particularly. I think that it's a decent option in terms of just cleaning up, making things a little more AFK. They don't seem terribly powerful to me, which I think is a good place for things that are only on Treasure Hunter to be in for now. But also a good quality of life if they ever were to be introduced into the game. And maybe you do the same thing you did with Note Paper, right? You used as an example, where it's just like you can make it for yourself, but it's untradeable, and this is just a tradable version that happens to come into the game through this route. I think that's a pretty healthy way for Treasure Hunter to be integrated into the game. I think that would be fine. So I mean, I think they're all good.
All right.
Decent new item.
Yeah, and I mean,
not worth the controversy.
No, and I mean, it's not like, we're selling, tier 92 or tier 95 weapons on Treasure Hunter now, or, with
Don't
direct
give them good
purchase.
ideas. Come on now.
Dude, you know how much easier it'd be for me to give them $40 than to get
Okay, we're not
the
talking about
billions
this.
of money.
Stop. I
Anywho.
should have opened my mouth.
I'm just saying.
Can of worms.
Give me 2 of them.
Moving on.
Shit. Here's my credit card.
Okay, stop.